Hello and welcome back to Saturday Night Live, Cardiff City World. I'm your host, Evan James, joined by the main man himself, Rhys David Evans. Rhys, still no response from Tan for your Director of Football application, is it?
Or for the manager. Apparently,
Or for the manager?
Good someone normally did.
Oh, it's a shame. But yeah, plenty to talk about tonight, which is a nice change, really. Don't have to come up with 10,000 different things, little additional things. Yeah, just plenty to talk about, including Rino and Ralls left the building. Ralls served 15 years at the club, which was, well, he's a longer serving player, and it's not every day you come across someone like that. But just also the excitement for the Brian Murphy's preseason is about to get underway. And not only that, I actually, later on the show, I'm going to show you some of my custom concepts to anticipate in another year of one of the 50 Shades of Grey that will be on our way kit this season. No pun intended. And of course, not to forget what is currently making all the headlines right now, Bale potentially buying Cardiff City Football Club. But yeah, let's just... we'll get right into it, but just before we do, that's an oxymoron. Just see you as your evening all. Evening to Paul. Nice to see you again. Yeah, I know Rallsy leaving as a legend. I mean, there's not many players that can say that. 15 years, countless amounts of managers, always give 100%. I mean, he always did. I really loved him when he was in the Premier League days because I found that he always grew with the squad. He was always like, no matter what level he played at, he seemed to fit right into it. And there's a shame, really, that he's going now, but at the same time, you could probably, in my opinion, you could probably see it was probably the right time. Is a big change in manager in the way we could be more progressive. What do you think?
It's a leader that's gone, really, let's be honest. It's one of the very, very few leaders we've gone. If we just signed 3 or 4 in before this, you're kind of thinking, okay, I can see you now. Part of me thinking, are we going to be missing him now in the dressing room a bit more because we've gone on a step
100%.
now? Again, if he's going because he can play at a high level or whatever, I'm all happy for him now. His 15 years of fantastic service to the club. I'm disappointed with the club, though, because they've left it this late now where it should have been done last month. So he could have said, look, I want to say goodbye to the fans, whatever. At least let me have that. Over 10 years means he gets a testimonial. So whether that's going to be set up in the international breakfast now, was it? And that could have been this summer, let's be honest. That could have been behind, a special game for us.
Yeah.
Or will that be next year instead? Now come back within a few weeks. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. You won't really see the impact until the season starts, and you start saying, "We're missing this there," or "You're missing our leadership quality there." I don't know. Oh. I feel I'm getting to see him go, but part of me thinks we've got to move on with the times, and we've got a youngish team we need to add, and hopefully this is the catalyst now for the club to go out and sign some leaders.
100%. I think, again, the leadership as well. I will say hi to everyone else as well, but I just thought it was a really important comment to pull up from Paul, just saying that, we not just that we lost Ralls, but we've lost Ramsey at the same time as well. And I think you think of it, right? Those 2 people were in charge for the last 3 games. Obviously, Ralls maybe less of an assistant than some others, but it's like what you're so used to having the club. It's like even having say Vincent Tan or whatever at the club for that long. You're kind of just used to it, but obviously it's not a fair comparison to make. We want one at the club, maybe not the other. But no, it's just like you're so used to the way things are run, and again, the dressing room, we never know how that's impacted, but we just know that you're gonna need to bring in some big personalities, some big leaders in place of, well, just Ralls alone. But you think Ramsey's gone now. Rino is pretty much, I think, confirmed that he's going. Apparently closer to home, people are saying. And then in the same sentence, people are saying that he's going to a championship club. So I'm not sure how that works. So that's another big miss. I mean, he served, I think it was just over 3 years. A shame, really, because I felt that he was someone that he was never properly given the chance. I think this first season, it was kind of like he did the job. It didn't let he didn't set the world on fire per se, in my opinion, but he kind of did the job as a defensive midfielder. But he really looked. I will say I was really worried with him pre-season under Bullet. he played right back a bit in pre-season, and he looked shocking for me. He was quite fast, but then when he came to actual season, he was probably one of our best players, on par with, I think, Callum O'Dowda. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think this time last year, I think me and Matt were talking to each other at a pre-season friendly, and we were saying, how was he still at the club? We don't know what he offers, and that's not his fault. He just, again, there was so many players ahead of him in midfield. You just don't know what he brings. You couldn't tell at the time, was he a box-to-box man, a ball with midfielder? You didn't know what he was. This year, when a lot of players, and a lot of them did, they just down tools and they did the effed in, he stood up, let's be honest. He stood up and have counted. Every time he was asked to go out there and play, he left his all on that pitch. A right back, man of the match, time and time again. He was a player's player of the year, but for me, he was the fans' player of the year. Every fan I spoke to said they voted for him, says it all. I'm gutted to see him go, because I think finally, when he had a chance, he's shown what he can do. However, I think it's probably been a torrid time for him down in South Wales. I mean, he's not the first two seasons he didn't really play. The third season, he lost his brother, God rest his soul. He's probably just looking to go back home now. I know he's from the Leeds area, so he's probably going to look for a club up our way, closer to home. Again, I can't thank him enough, because this year he became a fan favourite for his work ethic. And he's an example to a lot of them youngsters as well. When you see a player like that being asked, look, play out the position, do a job for us. It wasn't moaning, it wasn't complaining, We'll do 120 minutes in one game in the Cup. You'd come on, do 90 minutes on a Saturday, do another 90 minutes on Tuesday. To be fair, he did everything we asked of him to do. You can't fault the guy. I like to thank him for everything he's done. But, we are overloaded in that area, so I can see why the club maybe decided against offering a deal, but it's a tough one. It's never easy when players go that, as fans, you grow to like.
Yeah, keep holding that thought a sec. So I'm going to come right back to that. I just want to say evening to everyone else. First of all, tons of members in here. Evening, Mark, Martin, Simon. Have we got two? We got two Martins. Martin with an I, Martin with a Y. That's how I remember it. Graham, Suze, Zach. Evening all. See if I've missed anyone. Lorna, evening. Bob Bank, as always. JT. I'm sure I've got Sarah as well, and Connor. So I see a couple of comments now, and does it feel like, I don't know how to say this now. I can't remember exactly what I was going to say, but I'll read it. Oh yeah, it seems like to me, right, it's the people who work the hardest get the least credit and then end up not properly fulfilling their career at Cardiff. I tend to find that with a lot of players, even if they come on loan. But you have something like Ebu Adams, right? That was a player who I thought, he's kind of bang average, right? I was really excited when we signed him, Ebu Adams, because I saw clips of him from Forest Green Rovers, and he looked very athletic. He scored a couple of overhead kicks as well, and I know he was playing in League Two at the time, but it was just, I think it was National League and he got promoted, but it was just so nice to see someone with so much life and energy in him. And then obviously comes here and he gets injured. Same thing with Jamilu Collins as well. Two players who I thought that could have really kicked on at Cardiff, stopped by an injury or from something else, and they just never fully kicked on. And I felt like Rino kind of falls in that category of he wasn't properly tested. I think it's unfair to say that he didn't get game time at all, but at the same time he was always kind of that bench player, or the manager saw him that way. Then I can't remember who you signed by now. If he was signed by Neil Harris or what, I can't remember now. I wasn't that far back.
But part of me thinking, see, right, I think the club knew that Ralls was going to go, Rino was going to go, Ramsey was going to go. I think they've waited until they've got a manager in for it to happen, so that they can say, it's not our choice, decision, it's the manager's. They can sort of rub their hands of it, because now we'll all go in, maybe this is the plan, maybe he's got a plan. Whereas before we'd have gone, this is shocking from the club to treat the players like this. So I think the club have played a blind up here, because now no one knows if it's the manager or the ownership or the board. I personally think it's the board, though. I think it's them that have done it this way. It's gutted. I mean, Ralls, I read Ralls' statement. He says he likes to thank Tan, and that's it. He doesn't thank Dalman, or he doesn't thank True and stuff, which I think it says a lot, really, because True likes to be seen in all the photos, giving out all the handshakes and everything. He likes to be seen as the buddy of all the players. None of them thank him when they go. No one ever thanks him. I generally don't think anyone like him, but I just think the club may have shot themselves in the foot. Again, if you want to let him go, fine, but at least allow him to bring 1 or 2 players in first, because he might turn around and say, look, I need to keep this lad. I need to keep a Ralls in this club because he's the connection to the fans and the players. Without this now, I've got no one. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm unsure of this, really.
Yeah. Do you feel like we might shoot ourselves in the foot at the moment? Because by the way things are going, right? And I'm all for this. I'm all for having the youth coming through and everything. And we've gone for a young manager. And that Lee Riley, by the sounds of it, sounds quality. And he's fairly young, I reckon. I think he's in his 40s, or I'm not sure. But we got a very young squad, a very young team coming through now for next season. I just think that whilst I know it's great we got the energy and the youth coming through, I feel like we're going to go in this season unprepared because we won't have those players who've been through like the dirt of like League Ones, of like the, playing Stoke on a rainy night, that sort of kind of thing. Like, the likes of playing teams like in the Championship, you have Stoke, Millwall. I can't think of any on the top of my head, right? But those are teams where it's like, oh no, you don't really fancy, you don't look forward to the away trip there if you're playing that game, right? Because it's probably going to be wet, or it's, and the fans are going to be way louder than anyone else. And it's like, you need some experienced heads, and I'm sure they will come through. But like that no one can take that pressure. I think that the youth or that whatever comes in will either sink or swim. And I've always been quite sort of like extreme on that end of like, yeah, just chuck them in the deep end. If they swim, then amazing, keep them in the squad a bit. But if they sink, they might need a bit more time. There's no sort of pressure with the youth to play them. But I just don't know. See, with this squad, it seems like we're really, really focusing on youth this time. And I always wanted that. But at the same time, we've also got a young manager, and we've got young people around him. I don't know if this might be our, say, downfall. I think we might start well in the league, but then drop off after we realise we need a bit of knit and grit behind our squads. Not sure what you think about that.
Yeah, this is it now, because there's this comment there I see now from Andrew Davis saying, don't forget, these are the players that finished bottom. But you look back at that season, can you honestly say, at any game, would you say, we lost that because of Rino, we lost that because of Ralls? There's a lot of other players on that side who let us down last year, who should be gone before the likes of these two. But again, football is a cutthroat business. So, like I said, it depends. We might go out now and sign 3 or 4 players, and the entire shape of the team changes. All of a sudden, the way we play changes. We've got leadership in key areas. We've got a spine of the squad. But again, it depends, like who we bring in. There's others in there that got to go first, though, in my opinion. There's a few in there that need to be shipped out as soon as possible. But
I'll have you know, Bob, sorry, I was on non-alcoholic Copperberg. It was a pear flavour. It's not WKD Blue. I don't actually drink, contrary to Bob, I believe, right? Yeah, sorry to get you off there, but I just thought it's funny to bring that comment up. Yeah, I just, the thing is, right, I'm worried right now because we're seeing people leave and we haven't seen anyone come in apart from the manager. But at the same time, it would be naive to think that he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have his targets to bring in. But again, like we say, like he doesn't know. I know, like from what I've heard, he gets Brian Murphy gets the last say on everything. They might even tell him that. Tan might even say that. But at the end of the day, Tan's got his old ways of like, oh, you want that player? Oh no, we can't bring him in because he's on too much. We'll give you Simic instead. We'll give you Turnbull instead. We'll give you Kanga instead. And I'm not saying, well, not including Kanga, but I'm not saying that others aren't good players. But it's just, I don't know, see, because it's like you've already put all your money on black right now, and then you're just hoping you're just going to win the moment. That's how I see it. So I guess until we see some players come in, I'm always going to be quite nervous, whilst I am still excited. But I've been the most positive. The longer this goes on, the further I predict ourselves to get put in the table. I started off, right, when we got relegated, thinking, oh, we'll finish 10th. Then it went up to 8th. Then I said, oh, we'll scrape playoffs. And then when Brian Murphy got announced, we're like, yeah, we're at least fourth. Like, we have to be. And now the last week I said first. So, it is just kind of like, it's anxiety, but it's also excitement at the same time. But yeah, I'm not sure about anything else to add on before we move on anyway.
I think we just bloated aside, I think, and there's going to be a lot more going before. I think the only way we sign a player before we ship anyone out is if it's the right player that's available right now. Like, if there's a player out there right now, the manager says, "Oh, this is the game changer for us," then you'll see that come in. Until players go out, I don't think we'll really see much movement. Maybe 1 or 2 loans. But again, there's about 4 or 5 others, I think, that need to be shipped out. There's quite a few for me. Horvath, again, NG, Chambers, Robson go. Willock can go for me. There's a few, but I mean, it's just, again, yeah, Tete Wintle, you got like Eli King coming back, Joel Caldwell coming back. And there's so many players we've got in the squad right now that we need to offload quite a few first. Again, I understand, Ralls has been injured and stuff quite a bit. But I just think it's League One. I think he offers more than what a lot of them have shown so far. And that's why disappointment comes, really. Same as Rino, I think. He gives us more than what others have given us, and others are going to stay with the looks of it.
Yeah, and again, it's like Lorna says here, it says you can't afford to pay the wages we have been as we're now in League One. Again, I'm assuming people probably have like clauses to say they're going to take a cut a bit. But at the same time, it's like, when you get relegated, the first thing everyone's thinking of is, oh, I'm going to get out of this club. It's all right because someone will snatch me up. Like, again, I still fully believe Callum Robinson is pretty much gone. People are saying to Preston. I don't know. I genuinely think Preston will get relegated next season. I think it'll be Preston, Sheffield Wednesday, and I'm not sure who else. But I just don't see where they improve. Again, I could be dead wrong. And again, I genuinely think Plymouth are really going to struggle this season with in League One. I've seen some of the players that have gone. I don't see, so far, at least I know it's early days, but it's like a lot of people say, oh no, you'll just bounce straight back up. And again, we're victims of it ourselves, saying that we'll just go straight back up. But it's, it's different, right? It's so early still, but at the same time, we need to get moving soon because pre-season's literally in 2 days.
I'm pretty sure what Preston just signed that Daniel Jebison from Bournemouth on loan. So there's a striker already gone to Preston instead of
unless he plays wing. But again, he probably wants to play up front, doesn't he? So,
but again, you're probably looking at now. He's going to be on big wages regardless. Preston are not known for spending a lot of money. They're probably looking at thinking we can get someone cheaper. But again, if an offer comes in, I know people are saying 2 million. I can't imagine getting 2 million for Robertson. If we did, I'd snap the hand off. But again, it's not just him though. There's 5 or 6 others there that need to be shipped out as soon as possible. My only worry is now the manager will come in and go, I need a few months to see what he's going to offer. And then all of a sudden, 3 months down the line, we start the game with a Tete up top, Chambers in centre half, Horvath in goals. We lose 3-0. We all know they're not good enough. And he's going, there's something there. Like, that's my only worry.
Yeah. I just lost a comment where someone says, wait, hang on, I might find it. Bear with me. Oh, damn it. It says, like, someone says, like, take a shot when Rhys mentions 2 of these players' names or whatever. And probably Ethan Horvath as well.
Oh, Ethan Horvath Chambers probably, because, again, they both absolutely dropped.
Oh, I need to find that comment. It'll come back, don't worry. Whoever commented that, well done to you. But, yeah, so just before we I got a comment from Bob Banky I want to pull up, but just before that, I have to plug this in because if I don't, I'll be, let's just say, neutralized. No, what I said. But we do have limited edition retro kits available until Monday, 4 p.m. for the members. So if you want one, please go get one now because it's only here until Monday, 4 p.m. Get one before they're no longer out. And the non-members then, after the cut-off points, you'll get about 48 hours to grab one yourself as well. But literally for the price of a 4-piece McNuggets meal a month, I actually searched out what also costs like $5. So for the price of basically a Matty D's, you can literally become a member of Cardiff City World. And again, exclusive and interactive shows, meeting your favorite icons such as Rhys Evans, early access to live events, and much more to come. So what's not to love? But let's not hesitate anymore. I had to write that down because I would forget it otherwise. But yeah, from Bob back anyway. I have to say that I thought our midfield was bloated last season. Ralls, Rambo, Rino going. Even more opportunity for the youngsters now to break through, i.e. Colwell and King. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he means Joel Colwell as well. See, the thing is, right, Si did a video on Eli King not long ago, and everyone needs to watch that because I actually didn't realize how well Eli King's been performing on loan. I don't think because he's a defensive midfielder, you're not going to be expecting him to score loads of goals and even assists as well, because they might be telling you to play a holding defensive midfielder, which basically means you don't even cross the halfway line. But from what I heard, he's got a really high pass accuracy and long ball accuracy, and again, that can mean a difference if we're making quick transitions, and he can be that guy. The one thing I do think he lacks, though, is I can't remember how Si mentioned it. I think it was just kind of like that athleticism. He's kind of like in a way, Jordan Henderson, the way I see him, as from one of the clips I've seen, is that he's pretty decent at everything, but I don't see anything that stands out as like a Moneyball stat as like, yes, this is the one reason why he has to play over the other defensive midfielders. Because I feel like even Turnbull could do a job at defensive midfield, but do I see him as a number 6? Not really. I see him more as a number 10 than a 6. But again, you had Robertson. He played defensive midfield. We've got so many players now who could play defensive midfield. Wintle as well if he ends up staying somehow. And I just feel like we're going to have to ship at least 2 of these defensive midfielders out, or even box to box. Because where you're going to fit in Joel Colwell, where you're going to fit in Ruben Colwell, and Alex Robertson, is he going to stay? I mean, is it more likely now than it was before? I don't know. Who would you ship out for midfield? And tell me in the comments as well, guys.
This is it now, because again, like I said, you've got Joel coming back, Eli King coming back, Robertson, Turnbull, Chambers is probably more suited in the midfield than he is in defence. Who else we got coming through with that? Parrott in the academy, it looks good.
Yeah.
Robertson, Ruben could play deeper, maybe sees Ruben playing deeper as an 8, maybe. It's quite bloated, so ideally you want an 8 and a 6, but that means someone's going to lose position, so maybe that's Turnbull goes. If you look at Turnbull and Robertson, you think there's more development with Robertson than there is Turnbull. There's more of a chance of a bigger selling on fee, so maybe you go to that route. But it's a tough one. Like I said, he might have an idea of how to play 2 8s together, but needing a 6. So it all depends on how he sees it, I think. Wintle, if I had to pick out them, though, Wintle will go in, definitely. He lost my respect when he was making that video celebrating the manager getting sacked. Do you see Joel Colwell coming in and playing a lot of games? I mean, if he's not going to start a lot of games, you have to... I don't want to say load him out again, but then if you keep him around, that means Eli King will go. But if you keep Eli King around, you have to get Joel out to playing games. It's a tough one, isn't it, really? There's a lot. Again, we're quite bloated in certain areas, and we just got to... I mean, I don't know. Wintle will be gone for me if I had to pick one, though.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I genuinely think Joel Colwell could do with a half-season loan. I like that. And people say, he's ready now. And I would have thought that as well. But, you want to... Someone like him, right? You think of all the slate that Ruben Colwell's got, right? And I fundamentally disagree exactly with Simon on his point. I agree with him on this, is that I disagree that people say he doesn't work hard. I know a lot of people say that because, he's not as mobile as we thought for a number 10. And I think he's more of a box-to-box midfielder. And I think Bellamy sees that the same. But I genuinely think that when you have a name like Colwell now, they're gonna expect you to be the next big thing since sliced bread, and we don't want to we're gonna have so many youngsters, I feel, coming through this season because they're finally getting the chance, and I really don't want the fans to get in their backs. I know the fans are naturally more patient and they want to see the youth, but after about 7-8 games, if we're still not fully clicking, or if they're still not exceeding expectations that have already been put really high, then people will turn on them. They will have something to say before, it only take 3 games, if that, for Joel Cole to play, and someone, people will have stuff to pick out about him on Twitter or X or whatever. Like, it's gonna happen. I understand that's football, and again, I always said with like Yaku Mete, with the fact it's like, you're getting a decent wage, right? It's horrible, and you shouldn't be mean to people online, but at the same time, people do have an opinion, and some people are just better at kind of pushing it aside. I know I'm kind of going a bit of a tangent, but what I'm saying is like, there's a lot of pressure for these youths to come in. I just feel like just because we are in League One, that doesn't mean, okay, we're going to give everyone a chance. Because I think as Tan would want, and any manager, we want to go straight back up. And I understand, oh yeah, let's rebuild and all that. But once you spend a few seasons in the League One, your passion, the drive to get back up to the Championship, it fades a bit because you get used to playing in League One. Like, why don't we have the same passion every season to get promoted to the Premier League? It's because we're the most Championship out of all Championship clubs. We're literally number 1 for the most points accumulated in. And that's the problem, is that, like, I think you still chip out a couple of them on loan. I think, for me, you get rid of Wintle, like you said. Again, I think attitude above everything. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. If you have a poor attitude, like we saw last season, like too many players had, you get relegated. It doesn't matter how good you think you are inside and out. I think Joel Colwell, let's just say he goes on a short-term loan to somewhere, even if it is a League One club, because I think he is probably too good for League Two. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to just keep him on the bench, if you know what I mean. But again, this is just my opinion on it, really. And who else we got? Christ, we got so many. But yeah, again, Ralls, Rino leaving. That leaves it really then to Ruben Colwell, Turnbull, and Robertson, if I'm not missing anyone out. Chambers he's gone, let's be honest. But
yeah, but like Joe Willow was at first half last year, and he played the 10, and he was fantastic for that. He was scoring most weeks, setting assists up, play the match or man the match, whatever you call it these days. As a 10, he went to Exeter. He's on the bench. He comes on as a right back, or he comes on as a defensive midfielder, which I think shows that he's so versatile. Managers see him in different positions, but if he's turning up as a 10, I'd like to see him give a chance as a 10 if he wants to. But this is a good thing now, because we got League Cup. No, we got the pre-season to test these. You got pre-season, you could test out different positions and stuff, different tactics. League Cup is like the second or third game of the season. Again, with League One, it doesn't matter now. Just test him out as a 10, see how he does. You can learn a lot from things like that. So
if that's the case, then keep him, yeah. Because again, I forget how many cup games we're gonna have. You know what I mean? And again, if he gets in the international under 21s or whatever, then more power to him. I mean, yeah, now I think of it, League One, Christ, there's going to be loads of games. And we're also in the Nathaniel Cup or whatever, is it? The wild card for that? I didn't even know if that was really a thing, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we're in that. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of games. We're going to need to rotate. I'm just thinking maybe it's like, for once in my life, I'm actually being more cautious about using so many youth players. But I think, I think Brian Murphy has decent, football knowledge, considering he's, been at Man City, so he's not going to be reckless with it. I think he'll show a lot as well of character development for him, because I think if he, he's got a 3-year deal now, he's got time, and I just hope that we're patient with him. And I don't think it's going to be like Bullet passing on the back. He's very clear. He says he wants to play aggressive. I don't remember Omar Reza or Bullet saying that from the start of the season. They might say it in before games or whatever, but all that's just really talk, isn't it? You say the same stuff every game. Oh, we're looking to get on the front foot and get the 3 points and everything. It's like, well, yeah, but half the time we end up with just getting draws. And the one thing I don't want to see us doing this season is getting loads of draws. I'd rather see us lose some games and we realise the mistakes faster, as opposed to just draw. Because I'm just sick of mediocrity, and I'm being serious now. Like, mediocrity is what got us relegated. We all thought we were too good, and we thought, oh, it's all right because we got this in this game, and we put in shambolic performances because of it.
On the other hand, though, if we drew through the games we did lose last year, we'd have stayed up.
But you look at the games we lost, like Oxford. Do I say any more? Luton. These teams we should easily win. They were in terrible form. The ones that stick out to me, right, was the Watford game that we won, where they were actually in good form. That was one of the few teams we turned over a good form team. But every other team who played us, Derby, to be fair, that was one where after Bullock got sacked. But like you look at Derby, look at Oxford, Luton. Oh, Christ, everyone, honestly. I think
That was
that
was at the bullet, I believe, wasn't it? This where we lost them because Ebu Adams went clean through.
Oh, to Derby, yeah.
And he missed the open goal.
That's what I meant. Yeah, the second time we beat them 2-1, but yeah.
As I'm hoping now that Brian Barrymurphy is demanding, like, there's no shortcuts. There's no, if sometimes when you're in good form, right, a team can carry one or two players, and unfortunately, we've been carrying far too many for the last few years. I'm hoping he can spot out the players we are carrying and either stamp that attitude out, or be brave enough to put someone else, like a youngster, in there. Because a youngster will step up and just give his all, regardless of.
Sorry, just clarify.
Regardless of how young they are. But this is it now, because we heard he was trying to get his own staff in, and then it was the talk that he's not getting his own staff in. It's going to be a limited staff. Then it's the staff he's working with. And you do sort of worry because you heard comments from other players talking about the Ramsey, talking about the staff, certain things. You know what I mean? So I just hope they back him and support him. We need a proper pre-season. That's the first and foremost thing. Let him meet the players. Let him watch them. Let him know. It's just, this is probably the biggest summer in the good few years we've had now. This is. We get the summer right and the preparations of the season right. You could go on a roll. If, like last year, the preparations are shit and piss poor, then, everything else crumbles around it. How many games last year did we make subs at half-time because players weren't fit enough to do 45 minutes? Like, it was embarrassing. I mean, Preston, we made 3 subs at half-time. The players were shattered. Yeah. And Rhys said, didn't he, that they couldn't do anymore. You think this is not crazy. On. This is not on. They should. It was just after the international break as well. This is embarrassing. So now
you see games, that, and he brought on. He played Tanner then when he wasn't fit. So I don't understand his logic in that.
I genuinely think at that point it was a case of I've got nothing else. I've got no one else to bring on.
Yeah.
If I bring El Ghazi on, I'll get shot for it. If I bring Tanner, I'll get shot for it. And at the end, I think, let's be honest, you got unfit Tanner or El Ghazi, who is fit. They offer as much as each other. We had no game changers on the bench, did we, really, last year? There was no one who could say, if we get him on now, we can change the game up. That was a big issue, that was. Like I said, we need the pre-season now. I think it's in Monday the players are back. Let's get them back in heavy training, a lot of running. After go to Spain, get fitness in, get some games in, and then he can see what he needs in, and then go, right, I want this. I won't settle for anything else. I want this, this, and this.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you say about it? It's the anticipation now, isn't it? It's again the nervous energy now of thinking like it's excitement, but it's nervous because it could go one or two extreme ways. And I think if we had someone like Ian Everett in charge, God help us all. I'm genuinely being serious with this. Right? And I genuinely think, like, you can say in the comments, it's fine. I won't take it personally because I understand people's obsession with Nathan Jones. I genuinely think Nathan Jones was not the answer. I'm not just saying that because he hasn't got the job. I understand he's a Cardiff lad. He's passionate. He has that inner Warnock inside him. But he's his own person, his own way, by the way. I'm not just trying to say he is a B-Tech Warnock. But I just think the fact that we've gone with a young coach and someone who I thought Cardiff would never go for shows that we're looking to at least try and be a bit more modern and progressive. And again, I'm not saying Nathan Jones is like 70 years old, but I think there's certain coaches that you kind of get the extreme of one or the other. It's like you either light a fire on their backside and they launch up the table, or everything just falls apart. And usually with the owners, and that's how you lose your job. I just think that the fact that we've given Brian Barrymurphy a 3-year deal now, and the last person we did that was 14 years ago, Malky. So it's like that was before I even really started watching football that much. So like, it just goes to show that there must be something that's got to change. Just by that 3-year deal alone, I don't think we can really repeat the definition of insanity because that's what it is. But yeah, we're about the halfway point now. So I want to bring up what everyone's really been waiting for, which is, the elephant in the room, Bale potentially buying Cardiff City Football Club. Look, I don't know. I wanna reserve my judgment, but at the same time, we got to talk about it because that's what we're here to do, really, talk about these kind of things. Bale buying the club or not?
Anyone buying the club from Vincent Tan? Good news. Someone from Cardiff. Well, it won't be Bale buying the club. It'll be the face of the consortium that buys the club. It'll be he'll have like 5% into the shares as the guy who's the face of the club. But listen,
works for the title though.
but listen, even if that's the case, he comes in and he goes, "This club is all blue. Don't need the red stuff. That's not the badge. Just show me the badge. You want to win the fans over? Do this, this, and this."
Already love him, yeah.
Let's be honest. If Bale is the face of the consortium, regardless of the consortium are, we'd all then go in, you know what? Fair play. You know what? Again, there's a lot to be done. How will it work out? I don't know if there's any truth in it, that if they approached the club just said no. I think we're all waiting for the Salah deal to be sorted before anything happens.
I will say this, just sorry to interrupt. I have been told that the Salah case is now separate to whether Tan sells or buys, because he's apparently got this other agency or group of people to solve that case. So it's not like officially confirmed, but what I've heard is that those things are now separate, so it shouldn't really have an impact. But again, I don't know that, do I? So,
because as far as I'm aware, it's if he does somehow win the case, he's currently claiming £150 million in lost income.
Yeah.
So again, if you are selling a club, surely you go in, I can pocket 100 million of that, then sell a club for 25 million, or maybe 10 million, and leave with the debt to me or whatever. Yeah. I think it's a tricky one. I don't know how it's going to work out. There's probably a lot of money owed to him. There's money owed to Dalman. Is it a case of the new ownership has to pay the money back to Dalman and to Tan all his debts and loans? And if that's the case, the club costs even more then. So I don't know how they work it out. I won't be surprised if this consortium has approached several clubs in the Championship and higher up in League One, because it's a big thing to own a football club now. The Americans have seen what it's like.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, they're probably watching all these others. Again, Tom Brady's part of the Birmingham City one. He's the face of Birmingham City now. Ryan Reynolds, is the face of the Wrexham one. If they got Bale in it, all of a sudden that's the face of the Cardiff City one. So I don't think he's going to sell. If he does sell, it won't be yet. It'll be down the road. I think I'll be gutted, but I can probably see the consortium buying a different club, and it won't be Cardiff. As sad as it is to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's already rumours about Plymouth, and I saw someone I think someone got a Gareth Bale tattoo, one of the Plymouth fans, unless that was fake or whatever. But I just think, like, what you're doing, man. But yeah, no, it could, like, look. I was thinking, like, oh, can he afford that? But I'm thinking he's one of the world's greatest players. I'm like, you probably can't afford to buy it, or at least have a stake in it. Again, I think it's so easy to win us over as fans because we've been put in such a dire state for so long. Again, it just turn everything blue. Like, literally, that if someone comes in, right, keeps the 125th anniversary year badge, right, and just makes everything else blue, you would be sorted. Just blue, yellow, and white, like the main three colors, or black, whatever. And I have got some kit concepts to show afterwards of what I kind of would do for going forward. They're just like something I've done for a bit of fun, so I know I'm going to get slated for them. It's all right. I used to do it every year as well and share it to like Facebook groups. People commented saying, "Oh, why have you put like a pink stripe on it or whatever?" And it's like, you can't please everyone. But yeah, I genuinely think right now it's just so easy to win us over. I think anyone who comes in, we'll celebrate them like they're this year God, but then we don't know if we're actually going to get something better than what we've currently got. I know it sounds ironic, but if we're being honest, considering Tan knows almost nothing about football still, and David Marshall's yet to score a goal for Cardiff, he's still pumping money into the club every year, which we can be grateful for, as much as it is with his inaccuracies, I think.
Again, look at he'd have been a decent owner, right? If he was just like this now, putting money in the club, staying well away, but had decent people under him. Unfortunately, he's got Mehmet and Chu. And sadly, that's tarnished. The red tarnished it for me, but all that stuff. But again, he continues to make the same mistakes, which continues to burn any sort of bridges as he tries to build with fans. Any sort of respect that was left is gone. Wherever it is, whoever does buy this club, the first thing they got to do is make sure like some Mehmet, Chu, all of them are gone from the club. Any trace of them being at the club is gone. Burn anything that's red in the stadium. Have a bonfire
Replace
outside.
all the painters.
Oh, just get blue seats, get the badge back, get rid of that fucking Malaysian worm thing we got on the shirt, because that's ridiculous. get someone proper to design a kit for us, because I don't understand how we had a grey kit last year, which means the coal mines, and a sky blue kit, which looked like Coventry's kit. How that has any sort of connection to 125 years of Cardiff City, I haven't got a fucking clue.
Oh, you won't like one of my kits then.
But again, there was that fan advisory board meeting, and I think Vince Arm asked, could they have like flags put up of ex-captains and players and stuff, and they just kept saying, "No, we got to ask first." And they were going, "No, we'll pay for it." "Oh, we're still going to ask first." Things like that. The club seem to be doing everything they can just to take away all sort of connection with the club. I mean, it's just embarrassing.
Oh yeah.
Just get it. As long as them three are fucking gone, I don't care who the new ownership is. Well, I do care who the new ownership is, but just get them three fucking gone first.
Well, we can say breaking news, Rhys. Jamie's just come to us with this live on Sky News. Everyone, a new member of BBM's team has been appointed for this summer. His name is Boiling. Oh God! Oh, there you are. But there you are. Yeah, I see a few comments saying people saying the court case for Salah is separate, but at the same time, like you said, Rhys, it's like, you know, you don't know Tan's plan behind this, and from what I've heard, Tan's still, well, I think it was Darren Whitcup, if I'm not wrong quoting, he said on Twitter that apparently Tan is still fully committed to bringing us back to Premier League. I mean, it takes a certain sense of delulu to believe that, doesn't it? I mean, look, I admire his ambitions, but let's be honest, he's got it wrong from day one, hasn't he? I can't remember a single time where I've gone like, oh, you know what, fair play, credit Tan, you know, he said he'd do this and this happened, apart from maybe when he said he'd pump in money in the club. I want to be on his side, but there's just so much thinking, like, there's so many easy fixes, just do this, and they just refuse because of something in the past that happened, or no, we have to keep the red seats because it reminds us of Wales and all that. But I'm like, really? It's like, it's just whatever. But
I suppose he's lucky in some senses. We're a small fish, really, aren't we? Because, you know, honour and respect is a big thing in a culture. So if out there they see the newspaper every week, Cardiff unhappy with owner and Tan, Cardiff fans out there, most of them probably never heard of us. I mean, you can't imagine he does anything out there to advertise the club.
No.
So for him just to keep saying, yeah, Premier League will be soon, you can tell people out there then, yeah, we're a club trying to go to the Premier League. And everyone's going, oh, that sounds amazing, that does. But what it doesn't tell them is we're a League One club, run like a fucking joke, shambolic. So I don't know, once he's gone, the better.
Yeah, so I think most of us agree there. That's one thing we're in unity with. Yeah, I guess everyone's commented about Tan now. Yeah, Tan. Oh, go on, we'll get this one up quick before I move on. Tan won't sell to Bale just purely to spite the fans. See, I don't know. I can see the logic behind that. I don't think he's got that ill intentions as people think. Maybe he does. I'm not sure. I just think that his way, because he's so stubborn, right? I just think he thinks he knows better than everyone else. And not in a way of like, oh, he hates everyone and he's doing it to spite us. But I can understand how the feeling that it gives us of like betrayal, or like, that he just wants to do it because he can. I completely get that. I says the only chance we have for Tan to sell to Bale is us to bow down to Tan, worship him. Yeah, you know what? Like, again, I can understand the frustrations, but I think it is just the fact that he is just too far gone and thinking like, oh yeah, I can say this, I can do it myself. I think that's the problem. He's always thought he could do it himself because I think he wants full credit, and I get that. But, you can tell the last 8 or so years it hasn't worked. I mean, yeah, he's got us to the Premier League a couple of times, but, really...
Regardless, let's just say that we go on a mad run and we get back to the Premier League and he sells us. He'll still be despised. He won't be respected. He'll still be hated. Nah. Because he'll be the guy who took us to League One.
Exactly.
He'll be the guy who changed it to red. He's the guy who changed our badge. He's the guy who fucking nearly ruined the club. Like, so, regardless,
hard to redeem himself, isn't it?
It's impossible. He's gone too far now. Again, I'm grateful he pumps the money in to keep us afloat every month. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for that. I'd be more happy if he got rid of the 2 clowns he's got running things for him, because, again, how they still employed, I have no idea. The fact he sticks on with them shows me he hasn't learned a thing. So for me, just get him gone. The worst case scenario is if something happens to him personally now, and then his family take over, because his family will cut all funding like that, because his family have told him to get the football business for years, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing.
That's mad, yeah. But he's no, he's not really young either anymore, is he? So you think right now, just sell up, enjoy, and just enjoy time off. Like it's a really stressful thing to do. I've never obviously owned a football club, but I've been I'm a basketball coach, and I'm just running the club voluntarily in a way with one other coach. It's stressful unless you really love doing it, and you get involved a lot in it because you kind of have to really because you want to. It's like if you don't really want to get involved, then you clearly don't love it anymore. So you got to at least be thinking about your exit plan. I understand he's not making it public until he is leaving, but I don't know if he can do it much more myself. Like, I just thinking if I was him, I couldn't. So, but yeah, seen a few funny comments. If you want me to bring them up,
Ian Douglas' comment there.
the recent one.
Yeah, that made me chuckle. That did.
I haven't read it yet, so bear with me. Dalman is still there because the club owes him money. Chew is still there because God is dead and there's no hope in the world. Wow. An optimistic view on it.
Honestly, again, but don't forget, Tan's reign started well because he had Dato Chana. Dato came in, and to be fair, he met with fans, he talked to fans, he seemed like he genuinely cared about the club. He genuinely came across as a lovely bloke. All of a sudden, he was gone, he was replaced, and then the club started going absolutely dog shit with the ideas. Let's go red, let's call us the Dragons, let's get rid of the Bluebird, let's make the dragon more bigger because the dragon's black in Asia. Let's do all these stupid things. It all happened after Dato left. And again, I would love to hear what happened there because he was all hot, he genuinely seemed to like the club, and then he just disappeared.
Again, I think it's control, isn't it? It's I've got full control now. I want full credit for everything, and that's kind of it. That's why he probably doesn't employ anyone who's on his level, but in a football sense. But that's how I see it. But I just thought now for the last 10 minutes or so, we usually run over. But yeah, I'm not sure how exactly this is going to work on your screens. It might just be like a very thin portrait image. But I want to get your guys' opinions now. I'm putting myself in the firing line. I've actually got 5 kits. So I've got 1 home design, 2 away, and then 2 alternate. Mainly because I wanted to design something other than just Cardiff City blue color. Don't worry, for those who know, disclaimer or whatever, no warning. There's no reds. There's no red in any trace. So if you see red on your screen, just know that you're hallucinating. You should probably go see your doctor or go to Specsavers, get that checked out. So yeah, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, so I'm nervous, excited. Simon's already said apparently that he would like to use. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say this. Let's just say one of the kits he really liked and would maybe use in the future. But I'm not sure which chat he posted on, if that was the members chat or ours. But yeah, so let's just go with the first one. I'll get your reaction, Rhys, as well. And again, you guys say if you like it or if you don't. Let's see how this shows up on the screen. This is the home kit. It just shows like that. That's fine. We can kind of still see us around here. So I designed this all with Pez Master, so I didn't get much negotiating room with the collar design. So if you don't like it, tough. But yeah, kept the New Balance.
It looks like the current kit that does. The site does, yeah.
Well, the one we have this season.
Sure, yeah. I think we had the Bluebirds on it, didn't we, all over it? It's a difference.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It was this season. Was it like the little like arch sort of thing with the Blues? But I keep in the actual 125th anniversary one because look, I mean, do I have to justify? We've already said get rid of the worm, isn't it? I like it, but needs different sponsor. 100% agree with you, and don't worry. I have actually got 1 kit with a different sponsor on. I was gonna put Volkswagen Golf on there just to have a laugh and say Bale took us over, but no, I haven't. Let's see anyone else. That's too bitter halftime. I'm not sure. Did I misread that comment? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like if he's there.
This comment confused me. White shirt, white socks, like the good old days. I'd hate to think. I think you watch the wrong team, mate. If you think
maybe the away alternative. This is just the home kit, but we will get to that. Don't worry. Okay, let's. Yeah, I know. It's Evan. Hope you copy and paste. Yeah. I've not actually done that, but yeah, it maybe is when I edited the kit. I will say it's a bit more contrasting colors, but I have literally just screenshotted it, so it's a bit lower quality, just so you guys know, especially if you're watching like on iPhone or something. This kit I reckon people like. This I'll say is my favorite kit. This is the All and Away kit of designs. It's got all the colors that people have been crying out for, but just different. Can I show you?
I do like it. I think I do like it. I'm not sure about the blown stripe. Just the yellow stripe is enough. I like that, but the yellow stripe is enough.
Do you know what's funny, right?
I couldn't actually. Palace. I don't know why. I'm getting.
Yeah, it does. You know what? I genuinely tried to find a single stripe one, just one sort of like thing. I could not find it for life of me, unless it was going diagonally. I didn't want it to go diagonal because that would have literally been so much Crystal Palace then. I'm not really a fan of like the diagonal stripe, but yeah, that was the closest I could find. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite ones. I reckon this is the one that Sai likes, but I could be wrong. But again, I've tried to go with different kits as well, like really vary the colors up because I wanted to get some varied opinions and feedback on it. Mark says it's okay unless it's the home kit he's referring to. No, it's this one. Too much going on. Yeah, keep it black. Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Honestly, like some of them have gone more minimalistic, others have gone crazy with it. There's so many different designs I can do. There's a very faint, you won't be able to see it. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, they will see the little stripes on the yellow stripes.
No different to what we played last year.
Hey, I mean, if the lights are on, this should be all right. I mean, if it's the next kit, I think you'd definitely find it hard to see them. I'll just show you now. Yeah, there's no chance you're going to spot anyone on this pitch. It looks like a little away Liverpool kit. Do you remember when they had that really, really bright green one, like almost glow in the dark, and they had a similar grey to this. But yeah, that's literally yeah. It looks like a Sprite kit.
I do like the shorts with the badge in it. Then
yeah.
If I was yellow, grey shorts like that, I like that. I'd be like that one.
Ah, damn it! I missed the trick there. We did have a yellow and grey kit though.
It's a decent keeper's kit actually. Ours. Like the keepers,
yeah, to be fair,
they stand there like high-vis colours, sort of thing. They're like bright orange, red, pink.
Yeah, I couldn't even design the goalkeeper's kit. That would have been good. But yeah, we've probably had that. We had one like that in the Premier League, didn't we? But it wasn't as like luminous green, if that's right in saying. Looks like a high-vis vest, but yeah, honestly, I was going for that. Let's substitution. That could be a training kit. Honestly, that could be all right. Yeah, you know what? I couldn't find that one. I couldn't type in the letters. I could only like select from the sponsors. So yeah, maybe next time I'll do that. Don't think it's going to do well marked in ways in PG. I'm not sure how many kid sizes we're gonna sell with that one though. The shorts. Someone there you go. See, you got a difference there, Rhys. Saturday Night Live debate. Someone doesn't like the shorts.
I think if the badge was yellow with the shorts, I wouldn't mind it. Maybe a yellow stripe on the side of it. I don't mind it. Like,
yeah, Sarah, it does go in the dark. It's just it comes equipped with like this little button inside and just turns it on. It's like it's neon lights. It is. But no, I do like how just bright it is, but it is very much in your face. We got two more. This is the one I don't think you're gonna like, Rhys. But I just thought, why not? This is the Coventry kit. This is another alternate kit that I've got. How much Coventry does this scream to you, Rhys?
Coventry / Swansea. I see that.
Oh, it does. No, you said that now. I don't like it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like the cheetah team in white. It just doesn't.
Fair enough. Hey, I will say before any of you thing me off, I say it's a Swansea kit, right? In the Premier League days, we had a kit that looks
white. Yeah,
it was very, very light grey. It was like a silver white. It had white on it. Okay, but I was going bold with that one. By the way, number 9 it says Salic on the back in black, but it didn't show all the images, so it's just basic play on the back. Yeah, I think we should Yeah, I think Leeds. Hey, to be fair, the next one I was going Leeds way. I might have gone the Watford direction a bit as well. I've gone for a yellow kit. I tried to look at some retro designs and see if I can get a little bit retro flashback. We'll see. Let's see. The last kit design I've got, another alternate kit. Last minute prep that was.
I'm getting Watford, but I don't. Yeah. I'm not against it. I'm not. I'm getting Watford. I'm not against it, but I'm getting Watford.
No, don't mind having got a smelly brown marks on it. Like, yeah, I mean, I thought it was the last kit. Yeah, it doesn't look as much of like Olympics kits. The white kit as the Jats. Yeah, I love it. To be fair, I love it when people go like, "Oh, it looks awful," and other people go like, "Oh, that's all right." You know, it's just interesting how people can see things in complete different lenses. Well, it's the same kit, which whoever looks at it, you know, it's just a difference of opinion. And Dortmund vibe, yeah. To be fair, there were a few pattern designs that were labeled Dortmund. I didn't choose that one, but yeah, it does give Dortmund vibe, doesn't it? Or Watford. It would grow on you, yeah. I mean, you know, it's the longer I leave it up, the more it comes in. But I change the sponsor if anyone figured that out. I swear it used to be called like Spobet or something like that before, one of the retro kits, but they changed it. I'm not sure. Was it Arsenal in the 1980s? Well, if I was around the time, but I think I've seen a few kits of that. Yeah. So tell me, guys, what was the worst kit for you then? I'll go cycle back through them. You guys in the comments say what was the worst kit for you?
I can't want to say it's the worst one. Like
the least favourite.
For me, it's the white because it's Swansea for me and it's Coventry shorts. But it's the Swansea for me, I see it.
Coventry shorts, I love that. Yeah. No, I understand. I didn't even think about when I was making the kits, to be honest. I just knew not to put red on it, and I was like, we're safe. But,
I do like the black one. I think take the blue stripe away and have a yellow stripe. I think you're golden with that.
Yeah.
Keep the green one could be a keeper's kit. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm unsure, but the last one, though, I get Watford when I see it. I get Watford when I see it.
I definitely get like 2000s Dortmund vibes. I get.
I like yellow and black. Yeah, I think that works well. We've had kits in the past like that, so I think yellow and black. I think them colours work together for us as a third kit, away kit. But that one is
the pink
Watford.
shirt.
It's just Watford for me.
Someone might be colourblind in it. No, I actually did have a pink shirt, but I just didn't show it. But the problem is, I'm kind of sick of seeing like the pink shirt designs. So I feel like we've just overdone it really with that. But the maroon sort of stuff, I like it, but I feel like we kind of gotta move on a bit, you know. Harrogate City, yeah. The bin man one. Which one was that? The high vis one, was it? This bin man, where have you been, man?
Keeper's kit. That's not bad. Keeper's kit, honestly.
I see a training kit in that one. Yeah, it's keeper's training kit, wherever. The home kit I didn't really go that extravagant with. I only got the one design with. I just thought like I don't know, the stripes lightning flash were gonna be fast. I don't know.
Is it? I can't see lightning. I can't.
Can you not see it? Is it not the quality on the screen? Maybe that's probably why.
It just looks like the home kit from this year. That's why I thought it was the same one as this year's one.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, maybe it's the quality then. Yeah, it is basically. It's just like on the right hand side. It's like kind of half. It's like a lightning sort of strikes with a couple different shades, but it's not like crazy like contrasting. So yeah, that might be why. But yeah, no, I see. Oh, I realized when I asked about like which one was the worst kit, I thought people were saying white is like the best, but I remembered what I asked earlier. The white was the worst. Fair enough. Yeah. Black will be window. Yeah, fair enough. That's when the Riverside colours with the new. Yeah, that was it. I was talking before we started Rhys on like Pro Evolution Soccer on the game we used to play. Cardiff were called like a different team. They were called Southwest something or something like that. Southwest Riverside, I think, or South Wales Riverside. It was called. And they had a very murky green and brown kit. It was horrible. It was just like a very earthy looking kit. That's what they used to be on the games because they didn't have the licenses to have like Cardiff City and the badge and everything. So they just called it South Wales Riverside, and it was just a horrible green color, a bit like the old Everton away kits. Ugh. But yeah, be thankful we're not called South Wales Riverside still. We're having a green kit like that. Riverside SC, yeah. I know, Pro if you want a game. If you remember those days, that's as far back as I go. Bob Marley played at Ninian Park also, did he?
Yeah, did a concert.
Christ, I need to get a Jamaican kit now. Oh man. Yeah, so big changes in the club then. Quite a few people going out. When do you reckon we're gonna get some players in? I know it's a hard question to ask, but to answer.
Probably after the Spain trip, I think.
Really?
I think it's going to be a more of a case of now the next 2-3 weeks getting players out the door,
Mm.
and then it'll just be like talking to other players. But we might get 1 or 2 loans in before then, but signing permanent players, I think it'll probably be doing the Spain trip or after the Spain trip while the players are abroad. If
I
I'm
was
honest,
going to say, because Brian Murphy, I'm pretty sure he said he wanted to get all his players in before the Spain trip or something like that, or I could be mistaken that maybe.
But again, look who's running the club above him. Signing players and stuff. Okay, let's say I want to play X, Y, and Z, and they'll go use A, B, C. You want them stable guys, stay instead. So I have no faith in the people above him. But again, it'll be a case of how quick we can get players out the door. If we could sell 3 or 4 now in the next week or 2, then we'll see them all start coming in anyway. But until that happens, I think we'll see no real income-ins.
Yeah, just gotta wait and see, sadly. Again, guys, if you haven't become a member, please do. I can see almost everyone here is actually a member. I can see we've got a few newer faces as well. Again, it's for the price of a cup of coffee, if that really. But yeah, I don't know. Get your last comments in there, guys, as well before we wrap up. I'll try and find one more comment that we can end on just to make it worth the wait. So I don't want to just like leave you halfway through a comment and just end it. Let's have a look. If you're on about the kits I just showed you, they were mine, but I use Pezmaster, which is a site which has loads of like design templates you can kind of pick and choose, but you can choose from an entire color wheel, and also it's like there's like hundreds of designs, so it's not like I just like loaded a template for me. But again, it's like Cardiff always been one. They always played it safe, at least on the home kits. I didn't really like, contrary to popular belief, the kit where we had the bluebirds all across the badge. I like the idea, but this sounds really weird. It looked like a baby's bib. It generally looked like, because it's like some kind of like little toy like character on like a shirt, and it was bright, and I don't know, it just gave me that kind of vibe. So it's like really weird. And of course, it happened to be the season where we just about avoided relegation. I'm not sure if you want us to talk about this quickly, but thought on Tom Ramsett, you reckon he's stay or go?
It sounds like he's staying now, isn't it? Because they've said that there's not going to be a full coaching structure brought in. Sorry, that's what we got. And again, he's highly rated. I don't know. He just seems to survive every manager sacking, but none of us know exactly what sort of coach he is. Is set piece, attacking, defending? No one else have any idea. So I honestly don't know. I mean, if you sign 2 or 3 managers, that's one thing, but 5 as many as he has, and there's such a losing mentality in the squad right now, surely you want a clean slate. You want a clean slate to just change everything. And again, I'm surprised. I'm just surprised. So I'll say, I don't want to disrespect him and say he should go or what that, but I'm surprised. I think losing becomes a habit, and to stamp that out, you want to get rid of everything, in my opinion. So,
I think it might be beneficial, maybe keep it for one more season, just because he kind of knows the club, a bit, and you can kind of be the bridging the gap between the new progressive style we're going through and what has currently been the case. Like, I'm not saying whether he is or not a good coach or ever, but he's been in this club long enough to know the kind of problems that we have, whether he knows to solve them or not. But then at least he could report back to BBM and say, like, look, this is the kind of problems we've been struggling with. Instead, it just could save Brian Murphy a lot of time. I need to shorten that name somehow. I'm just going to say Murphy now, honestly. But yeah, generally, I remember when I used to ask you those little debate questions, and they say, like, if the world was ending, who would be a long throw? And you said Sean Morrison, and not only that, he smells nice. I generally torn between Tom Ramsett and Sean Morrison. Now, if the world was ending, I'd probably pay all my money to Tom Ramsett, purely because I think he will outlast the end of the world, and I think that I have a decent chance if I just pay him everything that we might both survive together. I mean, he knows the secret codes, man, because he's stayed at this club forever. Yeah, I feel like after maybe one more year, maybe it's time to call it quits. Again, look at Joe Ralls and everyone, and Ramsey leaving now. We've already gone through a big change, so it'll be interesting to see where we finish. Yeah, Tom 9 Lives Ramsfield.
like again, I'll be keen to hear what previous managers would have to say about him, if I'm honest with you. Because I don't know if I'm trying to think who's gone to other jobs. No one seemed to come back in for him. Again, if he might be a top coach that has his heart set on staying in Cardiff, I don't know. But again, a lot of people are quick to criticise Dan Pearce, put a lot of blame on him. I don't know why, but it's a tough one, isn't it? Let's be honest. BBM might come in and think he's a top coach. I want to work with him. Hopefully that's the case and it works out well. But if this is another manager that goes and he's still there, you've got to start asking questions. You've got to ask what is going on, because again, to survive so many managers, I don't know. There just seems to be a losing mentality at the club right now.
You've got to have a reason at least. So at least tell the fans that this is why he's staying. This is what his role is going to be. I don't know. I think we'll end on this comment here from. Oh, I see Susan's put one as well. I'll come to that at the end. New owner might want. Well, this is optimistic thinking. We're going to get a new owner. New owner might want new manager. So is BBM doomed and brought in due to this fact? I don't think it. Unless we plan to do a Birmingham and bring in Wayne Rooney, I don't think we should worry about something like this, especially for like a 3-year deal. We got to pay him off. I think that that's another thing as well about Town setting up as well. It's like. He's still paying off God knows how many managers to this day, like Bullet and more probably. But it's like, I don't think, if we get a new owners in, yeah, it's going to change a lot of things. But I don't think Brian By Murphy's in danger. We need some, we always keep saying that we need some consistency. We need to keep some consistency now because already so much changing. But in the same fashion, we can't be consistent in doing the same things we've done. Because I don't know if I could take another year of Horvath and goals and a Tete up front. I genuinely don't think I can. I can't live with that. Like, if we're going to play this aggressive football, right? I can't see what we saw last year. The players that we see, we need a big clear out, and we are having one. To be fair, I just at the moment the players that have left, most of them, I thought, oh, we could have probably done with him. You know what I mean?
Again, it's just new ownership might New ownership will probably come in. It'll keep the management structure in because, again, it's in place, especially midway through a season. They won't want to disrupt anything, let's be honest. You could be top of the league at that point. Why would you disrupt anything? Or you could be struggling at the bottom, and that's when you come out and say, let's bring someone else in.
Yeah, let's hope half the margins. I haven't seen you before, but let's hope we'll be champs. Yeah, we can only hope, but... Everyone predicts Luton, to be fair. Everyone's got Luton saying and the bookies odds and everything. I never listen to the bookies odds. I'm not sure about you. I genuinely, it's the odds of getting promoted. But that doesn't mean that's the odds of where they're finishing the table. It just means of how likely they are to get promoted. I genuinely don't think Luton will go straight back up. Will they be in the top 3? I think so. But again, a lot of people said, again, Plymouth will go back up. I think they'll get playoffs. I don't think they will go straight back up. I don't know. Again, for us, who's to say I'm right or wrong with us going straight back up? As far as we know, we can still really struggle because we might fail to get the players in that BBM wants, like you said. But I'll end on this question then. Sorry for any of the comments I missed out, but we'll have to wrap it up. Which of the youngest strikers would you keep? Reindorf, Atete, Simic, or another from development?
Ted is gone for me. He's been long enough now. He's failed to make any sort of impact in his time. For me, he's gone. Simic, I think he's already got his eyes out the door already. Like, he's probably looking at leaving. What a shambles of transfer that's turned out to be. Is fucking disaster. To be fair to Reindorf, he came in. He tried to do something. He might just need to go to League 2 or something again. Time on loan. He struggled in League 1. I think it was a Bristol Lost County last year.
Rovers, yeah.
On loan there, he struggled there. Maybe look at League 2. Joe went to League 2 and done wonders. Maybe look at that level just to get a season of professional football under your belt. Yeah. And again, he might not have a career at Cardiff. He might leave us, kick on in League 2 and have a wonderful career in there. But as long as we keep developing players like this, the club will get a reputation of being able to develop youngsters, which makes us a more attractive prospect to sign the youngsters in the future. Do you mean?
Yeah, no, I think it's like some players is hard because you want to keep hold of everyone that's like a promising youth player, but like some people they just aren't. You just know they're not going to perform at the level. Like, I don't want. No, I won't pick the name out. But I met one of the Cardiff City players, one of the young players, and in the last couple of seasons he got released. But I think I'm not sure if he was released or transfers, but he's playing now. I think in League Two or even like somewhere else, and it's like. It's a level that he's comfortable with and he's enjoying his football. And people look and be like, "Oh, he failed at this club," but you can't see it that way because you don't know what their goals are. Maybe their goals is to play in a good League One club and just go there. I mean, yeah, obviously you're not getting as much wage wise and everything, and you're not playing Premier League, Champions League football. But let's be honest, right? It's a rarity that we sell players for any more than $5 million. I mean, Mark McGuinness was a bit of a steal of a transfer. I definitely think he was worth a lot, but I just think that like sometimes you have just got to shake their hand and be like, sorry it didn't work out at this level, but we just hope the best for you, really. I see so many comments here, guys. I'm really sorry, but I have to just pick up one more. Everyone attacking Ramsey because they need someone to blame. I don't think that is the case. I think we can all blame everyone. I mean, even fans can blame each other and say that we've got on the backs a lot of players before that didn't deserve it. I think we've definitely played a part in it. I don't say but, I'll say and others are to blame as well. But you always look at it from the top down. And once you see someone who's been in the job for so many years and you don't understand what his role is at the club, whether he's, manager, assistant manager, painter, a janitor, whatever like that, you don't know. So you need to have that clarity. I think that's just what we mean by it. But, again, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, Ramsey, and I hope the best for him. I just think he probably he was more clear when he was involved in the charity match than his however many years he's been at this club, really. So, but yeah, that's basically it. Any closing points for you, Rhys?
I just can't wait for the football start back now. I'm fucking dying for football again.
Yeah.
Club World Cup is actually gash. It's not worth watching.
I still don't even know what it is, so it don't matter about it.
It's kind of our season start now.
Yeah, will be interesting. Thank you all guys for joining us tonight. I can see we still got quite a lot of viewers watching. We hit highs, I think, of almost like 100 viewers, which is really good.
Martin is good point there. But he said about players go to League Two and stuff. Don't forget, Joe Jacobson left us. Ends up down at the Wycombe Wanderers stuff. He built a wonderful career in back in the Championship at Wycombe.
Yeah.
So it's just about finding a level that you start off at, getting the game time, developing, and then progressing. And plenty of players have dropped down to League Two and then found themselves back in the Championship playing good football or chasing promotion. It can be done. You just need to get a start. Just need to get given a chance somewhere. And again, sometimes you might have to drop to league below than you would like to just to get that chance. But when you get the chance, take it. So nothing against all the best. I'm like.
Oh, we know BBM's going to expect the highest out of all the players as well, and I think he'll be respectful to say if players aren't good enough for it, loan or sell. I'm sure he will. He's been very clear about having a tight squad, which is interesting, saying that he doesn't want too many players so he can give chances to youth. And you think, no, you want a big squad because a lot of games, but at the same time, we have got a lot of different young players we can use who are dying for a chance, and I think this is really the chance so we could try and use them. And if they don't perform, we can still either release them or can sell them on for a little bit of profit as opposed to just, collecting dust on the shelf. But again, we won't see until we get games going, and we can say all preseason games are this and that. But again, even those are just like, you can't really trust them to, say if we're going to be any good or not. But yeah, be interesting. Thank you everyone for watching. And again, please tune in again next week. I won't be here next week, but I'm sure we'll have someone else to jump in. But let's just be honest, Saturday Night Live is the best show of all of them, isn't it, Rhys?
I can't say a thing. I'm from the 1927 club, so...
Oh, I think we need to get a Rhys double as well then. No. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all soon.